Mind you, this is my role.
Yes. Now you've picked me as a tour guide guest.
I just took the cheapest one available. Wat maakt Engeland zo bijzonder? Voor een deel ligt het aan zijn geschiedenis, maar die verklaart niet alles. Mogelijk is het te zoeken in de niet te lessen dorst van de Engelsen naar kennis. En wat het voor mij des te interessanter maakt, is dat de beroemdste Engelse wetenschapper zijn vak beoefende door in een wei te liggen om te kijken hoe de appels van de bomen vielen. Kortom, op naar Oxford, Engelands oudste universiteit.
Vanuit het zuidwesten, waar we de Britse geschiedenis hebben bekeken, trekken John en ik nu naar het noorden, door de Midlands en verder door, het liefst tot in Lancashire, want daar wil ik naartoe.
The most famous scientist in Britain was a man who worked lying on his back in a meadow, watching apples fall from the tree.
Oh, Newton!
Newton, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was he doing alone under an apple tree?
That's a good question. Nobody asked that.
No, the
But
shame
just
on
take it
him.
for granted that a scientist is lying
Well, do you know
in
what?
the sun.
Yeah, I think the thing is, you know, being British, he didn't want to mention the lady's name. And he just sat there and he got hit on the head with an apple and it led to a brilliant conclusion. Okay. Gravity.
Langs dit traject, dwars door het hart van Engeland, liggen de mijlpalen van de Britse wetenschap. Zij geven aan hoe de wetenschappers hebben bijgedragen tot de greatness of Britain.
To what kind of school have you been?
Just a state school, but Catholic funded.
Yeah.
Which meant when I was very young, between 5 to 11, it was run by nuns, and that was murderous. Really, really wicked. Being left-handed, of course, was seen as the sign of the devil, and I'm left-handed. They would try to break your knuckles.
Yeah.
And here I am now, today, in a Rolls with a Belgian historian.
Oh my God.
Waar kan ik beter beginnen dan in Oxford, de universiteitsstad cum laude, een locus scientiae van dromerige torenspitsen, ronkende doctoraatstitels en geniale maar helaas verstrooide professoren.
Oh, this should be a giggle.
I think so. Should be a very small museum, if only British.
Well,
it's over here.
It's science, British style.
Is that different from continental science?
Well, I mean, there'll be a great deal of intelligence involved, but also a great deal of scallywag.
Oh, let's find out about that.
Een tentoonstelling met oude schoolborden van beroemde Oxford-studenten, daar moeten we naartoe. Men giet John even de weg.
What's this? This is Brian Eno.
Have you ever seen Eno's way of making music? He came out with a set of cards. And so when in doubt, what you would do is you just pick a card out of the pack arbitrarily, and it would give you a different instruction when you were confused in your mixing processes. So I suppose this is his same approach to everything. So look, you go, oh my God, what am I going to do with the chorus? Funk? Yes.
We've got a problem with bleeding on the glass.
It's just not strong enough.
Oh, did I do that? I'm sorry. I apologise.
Try not to.
You should leave this in.
Try not to touch it.
Tell me off. Bad, Johnny. Bad. Don't bleed on the glass, you bad boy. I'm sorry, sir. Please, can I have some more?
Okay, good thing.
Celts Harmony. Well, actually, well, you know I'm Irish, so it's Celt Harm. I know, I'm a harmless. If it wasn't for the sweets.
I would much prefer this technology to my newly acquired laptop.
This has to be modern, or else it's laptop dancing. Oh, I think it is laptop dancing.
Chris Patton. I know him as a politician.
You do?
He was the last governor of Hong Kong.
Was
And
he?
he had three beautiful daughters. I remember him navigating out of Hong Kong harbor on a ship flying the Union Jack. He with his wife and his daughters.
And his three daughters. You had your nose on one, this eye on that, and that on that.
I had them. I saw them all.
You sold them off. Dirty old Belgian.
John vertrekt naar een afspraak wat verderop in de stad. Ondertussen, als was ik inspector Morse zelf, hou ik een steekproef onder de rondhangende studenten. Ik vraag de weg naar een ter plekke verzonnen college. Maar als bij wonder krijg ik een wegbeschrijving. En dit moest er ook nog bij. Een hommage aan de City Walk en Monty Python, die ook een product van Oxford zijn. Om erger te voorkomen zoek ik een professor op. Ik wil weten of de wieg van de wetenschap hier in Oxford staat.
Now, England had rather early already a very developed educational system in the Middle Ages with grammar schools and on top of that.
But of course it shared this with most European countries because of course the European countries invented the university. Oxford, we like to think, is the second oldest university in the world.
Yes.
We acknowledge Paris as our elder. But the system of course was fairly international.
Yes.
And of course it was rooted in the Latin language and rooted in science, in biblical exposition, in theology.
And the basic structure for that is the church at the time.
Is the church. The church is at the basis of the whole of the education system. And it remains so in Oxford really until the 20th century.
Vanaf de 17e eeuw groeit er een onblusbaar verlangen om de grote wereld en het nietige menselijke bestaan te doorgronden. De pragmatische Engelsen pijnigen zich de hersenen.
The structure, in fact, was not invented in Britain.
It's French and Italian, and it came, of course, from the medieval concept of universitas, all things, from which you take the word university in all the European languages. And it's where you would go to what they called a studium generale, to study all things. And, of course, this would include classical material, religious material, scientific experimentation, mathematics, and, of course, any student would then go through what they called the seven liberal arts. And that would give you a training into the whole range of classical knowledge.
You had Oxford, later on, a bit later, Cambridge.
A few years later, they're more or
Yes.
less at about the same time.
Yes, but the idea of founding Cambridge was a result of problems in Oxford.
It was indeed. What occurred in Oxford is that there were a series of riots about 1208, and a disaffected body of men left Oxford. And as it was said in the words of the late Professor Trevor Roper here, they settled in a remote marshland hamlet, and rumour has it their descendants are still to be found there.
Hello, as you know, my name's John and I'm here with Peter Dobson. And this is the wonderful grounds of Oxford.
3 colleges verder heeft John een chemicus in zijn proefbuis. Scheikunde was nooit zijn beste vak.
What do you do here?
I'm a professor of engineering science, and I also help the university now in developing commercial products.
I like to get to the bottom of what Britain is, and this show is for Belgian TV. I'm not sure they'll fully understand us waffling here.
What I've got
but you
to
know
tell
what?
you then-
We mustn't let them.
For Belgian TV, I've got to say that some of the raw material that we use in this particular product here comes from Belgium.
Yeah.
And we're very proud of the fact that we're an international facing small company. And some of the stuff in here comes from Western Australia. You know, we don't mind where it comes from as long as it works at the end of the day.
Yes, we're British. We cater to kangaroos and sprouts. This is Pete Dobson, and here's 2 of his very fine products. Can you guess what they are? Well, that says sunscreen, so that's fairly clear. But that, harmful. Is that a urine sample, sir?
No, that's the sample of diesel.
You don't mind if I have a sniff, just in case you're lying?
Not at all, no.
I'm
Me
joking.
too.
Oh, I love that smell.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's really nice. It reminds me of when I used to drink Terps. Accidentally.
Ligt de bakermat van The Greatness of Britain hier in Oxford in de revolutionaire manier waarop grote wetenschappers als Francis Bacon, Isaac Newton en Charles Darwin de wereld durfden te herbekijken?
Am I right to put it? Empirical science rose, and this is specific also for Britain the case in the 17th century.
What I think happens in England is our legal system is interesting because we had an adversarial case-based system. This meant that when people like Francis Bacon, the great founder in many ways of British science.
Also in philosophy, in
A
philosophical
philosopher
way.
and a lawyer. He approaches science from an adversarial point of view. And he works on the idea that just as in court, your witness might be reluctant and not tell you what you want to know, so you've got to jolly well got the information out of him. So likewise, nature is reluctant and doesn't want to give you secrets. So therefore you need ways of getting around nature's obscurity. This suggests experimentation.
Experimentation and observation.
So you don't look to the monarch for initiatives. You start it for yourself.
You do it yourself.
Everybody has to pay for their own researches. Dig into your own private pockets. That's a deeply British trait. But if you take, let's say, the founding of the Royal Society here in Oxford in about 350 years ago, what was happening there is all of these men were academics, but they were meeting in the context of a private club.
In 1660 ontstond de Royal Society. Gedaan met het illegale lijkensnijden, waar de doodstraf op stond. De Royal Society hield voor haar leden open bijeenkomsten met verse lijken. Filosofen, astrologen of medici konden hier in volle vrijheid aan de slag. Ze was de eerste Engelse academie waar 's lands grootste wijsneuzen een ziel en een identiteit gaven aan wetenschap.
I like the British scientist approach to life. It's not so deadpan dreary. You're an eccentric bunch.
Yep, I think we are.
Do you think you're out to save the planet or turn it into a chemical nuclear nightmare?
Oh, I think we're out to save the planet. We're looking for solutions all the time to make life better, not to just make a fast buck. We're really trying to provide solutions.
To previous chemical research disasters.
A lot of it is that way, I'm afraid, yes.
That's the way of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I make music to repair the damage done by other people.
Yeah.
Get me a mirror.
In the 18th, 19th century, Britain is very well renowned internationally as the origin of modernization, innovation. Is this evolution from, let's say, pure science to applied science?
Well, in fact, we've never had just pure science, because Bacon, back in the 17th century, said that science should have two purposes. One should be the glory of God, pure research. The other was the relief of man's estate, applied technology. And he saw, in those days, 1620, the big areas where you'd apply technology would be medicine, navigation, and agriculture. Now, it starts from there. The invention of the steam engine, all of these things which transform the world are all products of applied science.
So, to conclude, I might say that what is typical about British science is that people having fun with doing inventions and trying to make a buck out of it.
Absolutely. It's deeply driven by pragmatism, curiosity, and profit. And that, I think, is a very healthy combination.
Diepgelovige, maar vrijdenkende vorsters die gentlemen's stichten om bij de sherry over wetenschap te keuvelen. Zo kennen we de Britten. Als de wetenschap het op die manier aanpakt, is er geen houden meer aan.
Talking to that scientist today, for me, I mean, what a nice bloke.
Yeah.
You know, down to earth, really, and mad as a hatter, like we all are.
And
If you spend any length of time with any human being, you know that they're quite daft.
and he was able to explain it.
In a really natural way.
So that
Like, he wasn't talking down to me.
Yeah.
You know, and that made me very comfortable.
De wetenschap verspreidt zich als een besmettelijk virus en we moeten haar achterna, door de Midlands naar het noorden. Maar op onze weg duikt plots een klein maar wereldberoemd dorpje op, Stratford-upon-Avon. We zijn in Shakespeare-land. Kijk, wetenschap allemaal goed en wel, maar hier wil ik toch niet zomaar voorbij razen. John wil het vanavond, ik vertaal, op een zuipen zetten. Een wetenschappelijk experiment, beweert hij. Maar ik ken al zijn enthousiaste omgang met koning alcohol. Ik red mijn vel en een pak hersencellen door de invitatie beleefd af te slaan.
Oh, hello. Yeah. I'm doing a program on what makes Britain great.
Oh yeah, is it on now?
Yeah.
What channel?
Belgian TV.
Belgian TV.
Yeah, go on, tell the Belgians what makes Britain great. No Belgians!
No Belgians!
Wat maakt een Brit zo typisch, vraag ik me af. Wat drijft hen? Wat drijft John? Trouwens, waar hangt hij uit? En waar blijft die regen die er normaal gesproken met bakken uit de lucht zou moeten vallen?
Go on, say something rude to Belgian.
Kiss my bum! Kiss my bum!
You see? Get 'em when they're young. Yeah.
Yay!
Cheers, lads.
It is! Oh, it is Belgium! Yeah!
Misschien wordt niet elke Brit het scherpste mes in de schuif, maar de slimste weten toch altijd wel het aangename aan het nuttige te koppelen. Die practical knowledge is nooit ver weg. Hier in Stratford hebben ze in haast elk hotel Shakespeare bij de receptie. En ik ga een grote portie inslaan om mij vannacht zoet te houden. De question is natuurlijk to be or not to be deze morgen. John is een absolute fan van Richard III, maar is zelfs niet met dynamiet uit zijn luie bed te krijgen. De Flurk heeft nog maar eens 3 minibaars leeggezopen. Dan maar zonder gids naar Shakespeare's geboortehuis. Overigens, het is echte regen waarop ik aan het wachten ben, niet deze kattenpis.
Zo'n klein huisje, maar wel de geboorteplek van een geweldig genie, William Shakespeare. Ik zal meteen weten hoe laat het is.
Ik wil eindelijk komaf maken met de oude, maar altijd terugkerende roddel dat niet Shakespeare het werk van Shakespeare schreef, maar iemand anders. Een Lord Derby, een Antwerpenaar of zelfs Sir Francis Bacon, de vader van de Britse wetenschap. Hoe durven ze? Daar wil ik voor gaan zitten. Bijvoorbeeld op het zachte maar verdacht korte bed van de Bard zelf.
The actual writer of the works of Shakespeare was Francis Bacon. This is an old theory, but it's still circulating. Where does that come from? What does that mean?
There's something about our perception of who Shakespeare is, and people were dismayed to discover that Shakespeare, the greatest poet in the English language, might have been born in a place like this.
Oh, this is not enough for him.
It's not enough.
Should have been a palace.
It should have been a much, much bigger house. What they completely missed was the point of the grammar school education that he had, that connected him with people like Bacon. The same kind of learning, the same background, the same resonances from classical authors.
14 tragedies, 12 comedies, 11 historische stukken en 154 sonnetten. Eigenhandig geschreven door de meester zelf aan deze tafel.
Dr. Richardson, Shakespeare lived in the time when science was developing very rapidly. What is there to be seen in his work of the changes in his time, which were rather revolutionary?
There are some things that are there in a very direct way, like the discovery of the New World in plays like The Tempest. It's obviously talking about those issues. And then there are other things that are there much more subtly, just as ideas about new ways of thinking, or the possibility of thinking differently, perhaps. So in lots of different ways, he is reflecting the changes that are going on.
I have one more personal question. I'm traveling around the country with my tour guide and friend, Johnny Rotten, and he thinks very highly of Shakespeare player Richard III. Do you have an explanation for that? Might help me handle him.
Well, you know, Richard III is a superb performer. He knows everything there is to know about performance and how performance gets you on in the world. And very, very good with audiences. They love him, at least to start with.
Okay.
I don't know whether that helps you.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for the rest of my trip. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mijn reisgenoot probeert een joekel van een kater te verwerken terwijl we verder naar het noorden rijden. In het spoor van de wetenschap die komaf maakte met vooroordelen en onwetendheid.
The universities were not really that important in scientific advancement. That it was people outside of it, well, they had an education, of course, but outside of it, that really did the work.
That might be very, very true, because there is the image of the eccentric lord running across a field with a butterfly net in the 18th century. And they had to be doing something.
In de 18e eeuw binden wetenschappelijk correcte bevindingen de strijd aan met oude instituten als de kerk en de dogma's van de Bijbel. Het is de eeuw van de verlichting waarin moedige wetenschappers eeuwenoud bijgeloof ombuigen naar gezond verstand. De weg is vrij voor grootse, zelfs revolutionaire uitvindingen.
So you need outsiders and rebels.
It's rebels, really, you know, who really create any advancements at all. Otherwise, we'd still be into the flat Earth theory.
Yeah.
Are we going round in circles here? We're certainly talking in them.
Birmingham. Overal in de streek valt van alles te leren over de curieuze uitvindingen die indertijd de koeien in de wei, de stuipen op het lijf joegen. Keuze te over. En zo rijden we stomweg verloren.
This is a humorous way of transportation.
This is how they all travel around here.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Hi. Oh. And an athlete as well.
Now, what's that?
This is a penny farthing, all original. The back wheel is not.
That's a frame, isn't it?
How old is that?
The bicycle itself, well, the penny farthing was invented in the 1870s.
Where is that name penny farthing coming from?
Well, the penny farthing, in the old British coinage, the penny was a very large coin and the farthing was a very small one.
I see.
So if you put a penny next to a farthing, that's where the name comes from.
What's your name?
Josh.
I'm John.
All right, John.
Your crappy old bike is causing a traffic jam with modern cars at each end. Can we move to the side?
Let's do that.
I don't want to annoy these people.
This way.
Make friends, keep people happy. This was the original police siren.
You could recognize a policeman by their big thumbs, you know?
That's it.
John wil mij zo ver brengen om zelf ook op dat krakkemikkige tuig te rijden. Maar daar trap ik niet in.
All right. Look, I can't even steer it. Are you sure you don't want to do this, Mark?
No, I'm
come
really
on.
not into
You really
sports.
should. You wanted to, like, you know... be-
Exercised,
You know, you're a bit of an Anglophile. You admire the British, you know.
Oh, I certainly do, yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
help!
That's it, you want?
And just
You
push
okay?
forward.
And then just push forward.
Oh, that's all right.
Right, straight for the cameraman. Off you go.
Whoa! Oh, that's all right.
You're doing okay, Johnny?
Yeah! Yeehaw! Of course, my legs ain't long enough. Look at that! Style! Whoa!
You think how the catch is getting off. I
That's
admire this.
fantastic. that is a great feel.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right up high. It's like being in a
No
nest
more,
of
Dad.
something.
Wow.
Yeah,
Great.
have another go.
No, no.
See you next to the camera.
Oh yes, now I'm doing my fake getting into the rolls shots. The bread rolls.
Mind you, this is my role.
Yes. It certainly is. You're more than welcome to it. You can have your rolls, I'll have me penny farthing.
Yeah.
That was great fun, Mark.
I thought, yeah.
Really enjoyed it, but you know, risky.
Dit is het zogenaamde Black Country, het Zwarte Land. De naam komt van de dikke zwarte rookwolken uit de fabrieken die het eertijds liefelijke en harmonieuze landschap voorgoed veranderden. Uit het grote aanbod van steden kies ik uiteindelijk voor het kleine dorpje Style, net onder Manchester.
It's all wrapped up, all this chaos we create as a species in. We come up with just such great things, you know?
Well,
Happy little cottages with cows shitting in a field and it all looks all right.
yeah, why shouldn't?
Why shouldn't it? Because ultimately all people want is to be comfortable, not nasty.
In 1760 barst de industrialisering uit. Steenkool, staal, katoen, stoom. De industriële revolutie verandert ieders leefwereld. Honderdduizenden boeren staan plots in de fabriek. Ze hebben niks meer te zeggen over hun eigen tijd en schikken zich naar de stoomfluit die hen naar het werk beveelt. Engeland maakt het als eerste mee.
That's technical innovation in Britain?
I don't like central heating and I don't like air conditioning.
No, it's not unhealthy.
You know, just
Not the best air conditioning.
Open and close the window.
Yeah.
De Quarrybank Mill was een archetype van de textielindustrie en van hoe machines voortaan bepaalden hoe mensen hun leven moesten leiden. De aanblik van deze werkplaatsen stemt me niet echt vrolijk.
shut that gate. You don't want to let cattle out or peasants in.
Or laborers running away.
In dit stukje werelderfgoed struikelen we over de spinning jennies, watermolens, stoommachines en die hele ijzerwinkel spint vandaag de dag nog evenveel garen als toen.
And what would you call this?
This is a spinning machine as well. Okay, I'm leaving you for this.
All right. If you
I'll
don't
see you.
mind- Yeah, I want to have a mosey around in this. Hang out with the workers. You going to tell us what this is all about, Chris?
Yeah. Spinning mill, spins cotton thread. 560 spindles, roughly about 500,000 yards of yarn an hour this machine will produce. Commonplace in factories from as early as about 1845 onwards.
And would this be where the kids would be working?
Yeah, they'd have to go under and clear away all this kind of rubbish that builds up on the carriage.
I suppose because of the work ethic, these machines were non-stop when they were on.
24 hours a day work if possible.
So if anyone had an accident, it would be tough.
Yeah, that's what the children were employed for. They were dogs' bodies, go-for's.
Slaves.
Well, this is the machine that, with which the Industrial Revolution started off, a steam engine.
Well, it's the second phase of the Industrial Revolution. The first phase was obviously water wheels. The water wheels were less reliable because they're obviously dependent on the amount of rainfall and the number of people using the river at the same time. So it's really the steam engine that was the transformation from the first mill sites, which were like this in rural areas, through to the second phase, which was where they were put into the industrial cities.
Music to my ears. I've always liked the sound of factories. I know there's like blood, death and gore in there and all that, but at the same time there's a real extreme beauty in all of this.
So what did the Industrial Revolution do to England as a nation?
It transformed it completely from being an agrarian and domestic-based economy into an industrial one which went out and spread all over the world. And you can see that the British influence all over the world in the early years of the 19th century was huge.
Obviously, there's a much quicker way of manufacturing the cotton than it used to be, but a lot of old ladies at spinning wheels.
Yeah, this is the proper factory system. The amount of machinery required, people to run these machines, and the industries that came with it, foundries, tanneries, the rail networks, the docklands, it truly, the Industrial Revolution, it truly took off.
Industrial Revolution?
Yeah.
It made Britain great again and again and again.
By the way, Belgium industry was started off with technology stolen here in Manchester. Are you still mad at us?
We're not mad at you, no, because we stole it from the Italians and the Chinese.
You're worse than us.
Absolutely.
De Rolls heeft een afspraak met het personeel van de carwash en zo struikelen John en ik van de ene horreur in de andere. In de schaduw van de fabriek staat een oud weeshuis.
What would this house be?
It's the apprentice house.
Nah. Good knock. Hey, up.
Oh, it's you. Welcome. Do come in. I'm Mark. Good to meet you, Mark.
I'm John.
John, good to meet you. Chris, how's it going?
Chris, all right, mate. You're going to show us around the workhouse, is that right?
Yeah, this is the home where the people used to live, so yeah.
With the owners?
Come in. No, they live down the hill, nice big house.
So this would be just the workers?
Yeah. Hence the lack of carpet. Very small little workers, tiny little things, in fact, mainly children, teenagers, a few of them, and maybe a few adults here and there, ones that stuck around for a little bit too long.
Child slave labour?
Yeah, it could be called that.
In 1833 volgde de eerste wet tegen kinderarbeid. Engeland, die daarmee als eerste was begonnen, wou hier ook als eerste weer vanaf. In de fabriek kosten kinderen haast niks, maar zij zelf betaalden een hoge prijs in de vorm van een miserabel leven en een vaak voortijdige dood.
How did the kids get it? Were they sold in or
Some parents sold their kids for about 20p a head.
Well, it'd be a good price on a set of twins.
Twins, or I'll give you 35 pence.
Hello, poor people.
Come and meet them.
So they had schooling as well?
Yeah. After working for about 12 hours, they come up here and have their dinner.
Afterwards, they had some education.
Yeah, at the very end of the day, so about sort of 10 o'clock at night.
Improving the minds to adapt more willingly to slave labour.
They got all of this for working 12 hours.
All this in here?
Yes, you've even got your lectern up there with the open Bible and a little bit of punishment there. Have you been behaved today? Have you?
I'm going to be a very good boy.
You will now. Hold out those. Stand against the wall with your nose against the wall.
Is that what you did?
Yep.
Look, I got off work again.
You look good and calling out. Yeah, you got to keep your arms out there, that's the thing.
Oh, sod that. I'm murderously torturous. I can see the pleasure.
Come on.
So, welcome to the bedroom. This is where the girls would have slept, so keep your hands to yourself.
Well, these can't be the real mattresses, can they?
Yeah, it's stuffed with straw every 6 months, whether it needed it or not. And if you shared the bed with someone who wet the bed, then you probably would need it by 6 months. But yeah, they got mattresses in the city.
Straw mattress isn't bad at all. Sit on that, Mark.
But if you...
Come on, join me in bed, mate.
In bed with... No.
Well, in bed with something rotten.
Yeah. But it's all right.
It is, isn't it?
But I think after 6 months...
I think after 6 minutes.
It's a bit less then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and imagine lots of stinky girls in here who haven't washed
Stinky
for about
girls.
a year.
Stinky girls, my fave.
Don't speak things like this to him.
60 of them and they're all teenagers.
Oh, you ain't washed recent. Oh, what's that fungus fish round here?
There must have been a smell in here.
Yeah, because you've got girls that haven't washed all year and their clothes are dirty and the sheets dirty, but also there's open toilets in here as well, about 5 or 6 of them for them to be using overnight, and you get a bit clogged up working down.
But it's amazing.
And that was the straw that was used for the mattresses.
Yes, that's right.
Makes it very real.
And it's also their toilet paper as well, so don't use too much of it up. They were given that to use as toilet paper until it ran out, and then when it ran out, they had to use whatever came to hand.
Corner of a sheet, shirt tail.
No, I'm not sharing a bed with you if you've been using your sheet.
Oh, that's the old Irish style. You see, you tail of your shirt. Yeah, my uncles still do it. That's why I live in England.
Let's see another room.
Yes, do come through. So yes, do come down here, and welcome to the parlour.
Oh, this is low.
Head, yeah.
This is where the master of the house?
Yes, this is a much posher room.
But the children here, did they try to run away or something?
Yeah, a lot of them did, and if they did run away, they would get put into a punishment room, which is basically a little room where they'd sit on their own and contemplate, meditate on where they've gone wrong, and hopefully come out slightly improved characters, which clearly...
It's amazing what can go on in your mind when you're left alone in that.
Exactly, in the dark.
No, and so the punishment is self-created.
Yeah, this is more effective than just beating the children up, probably.
Yes, exactly. In some mills in other parts of the country, there's just mass graves. In Manchester, there's mass graves where these children's corpses were put. So, yeah, they were exploiting the kids.
We all know what made in Thailand really means, don't we?
Yeah. And you ask people, they don't care.
Vanuit de auto ziet het golvende landschap er nog majestueuzer uit, door het contrast met de compacte steden vol zwarte huizen en fabrieken. Het is wel lang rijden, maar met John in de buurt krijgt verveling geen kans. En als het toch te veel wordt, dan bekvechten we over de serieuze dingen des levens. The system in England was really hurting children.
But we shouldn't be that horrible. You know, that's the trouble with it.
Yeah.
God, we're all to blame, aren't we? Oh, driver, where's the gun?
John beweert dat hij hier een speciale portie greatness voor mij in petto heeft. Maar de schurk verklapt nog niks.
Shall we wave to the locals? Hello, poor people.
Lancashire, we hebben het gehaald. John weet hier in de buurt een authentieke stoomtrein staan en naar verluidt zit het beest nog altijd op hete kolen. Op naar Bury. In Bury vertrokken vanaf 1848 treinen van de East Lancashire Railways door de Rossendale Valley met haltes in anders misschien maar beter vergeten dorpen zoals Ramsbottom, Somerset en Rottenstall.
I haven't seen one of these old steam engines in a long while. You know what? They'll do this, right, but they'll tell you no smoking. All right, welcome to Britain.
You're engineer of this piece of machinery?
Yes, but in this country we call it driver.
Driver, it's called driver, okay. Hi, I'm Mark.
Hi, Mark. Mark's from Belgian TV, and he wants to know what makes Britain great. So we thought we'll have a look at an old steam engine, if that's all right by you.
Yeah.
And you show us how it works, because as you imagine, I'm clueless. So that's what you do. You bung your old coal in there.
Come on, you're having to go now.
That's you. Yeah, all right. Go on. Right, get yourself a nice
Give the fireman plenty around that way.
Mind your boom. Do you have a water tank in there?
The water tank's under the coal.
Under the coal. And that's to keep the temperature down if this gets too hot, is it?
Well, we're making steam, aren't we?
Oh, of
so we need water to make steam.
No, no, wait. Get out of it. Mark, you buggered off while they tried to lecture me on a steam engine. You missed the best bit. That bloke was blatant annoying.
Did you understand what he said?
Yeah, I did, but it was like going back to school, you know. Like,
oh, yes.
Oh, what's the first thing we need? Water. What's the second most important thing?
Cool.
Water.
Oh, again.
What's the third most important thing you need?
Water.
Oh!
See, I know all about it.
You're much better than me.
Yeah. Have a seat.
We're off.
Yeah.
Tension. We're off.
Is that the right direction?
This reminds me of some of them old war movies.
Yes.
You know.
And also with the sound of that engine.
Yeah,
but,
we could be RAF pilots.
Escape from occupied France.
De stoomtrein werd uitgevonden omdat het paard in de tijd te duur was geworden. En zie ons hier nu zitten, zwartrijders die we zijn. Want geen van ons heeft ook maar 1 penny op zak. Maar we liegen niet tegen de conducteur wanneer we hem zeggen dat we onze schulden zullen aflossen wanneer de chauffeur van de Rolls ons komt oppikken.
All right, are you the ticket collector?
No, the station master.
Station master. We used to do skiving off work.
This is an original engine that once was in regular service.
Yes.
How old is it?
1927.
1927. And that was used on regular lines in England.
That was what we used to call a working train.
Yes.
Right, you know, pulling coal, steel and all that. It was used very little for a passenger.
Steam engine was in fact the glory also of British railways.
It was down to 10, 15 mile an hour. That was the fastest it could go.
What does it cost to maintain this line? I mean, you're all volunteers.
Oh, I won't like to say the costing, how much it would cost. But for a tender of coal now, the price of coal for this particular engine is just short of £900.
£900, and how far do you get with 1 tender of coal?
You run today with that tender of coal. There'll be a bit left, but you run today.
Oh my God,
yeah.
That's just for the coal.
Yeah.
Is it still easy to find the coal because all the coal mines are shut?
Well, they shut them and then they import it, don't they?
South African coal.
Yeah, Australian South African coal.
Yeah. Hello, Mark. Welcome to Britain. Nothing's done proper here.
Well, they do their best.
Yeah.
Engine is running.
This used to be an island culture, as you know, and it's self-sufficient. And joining the EU has got its good sides, but it's got its bad side.
It's called specialised,
isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and we've lost that independency, which I think is a bleeding tragedy in many ways. But it's left us more open-minded. We criticise far more many people now.
It's a lot cheaper to import coal from South Africa than to get it out of the ground here.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Madness, see. Because they do it with the industrial thing, it just keeps progressing with technology. We got no use for coal, but hang on a minute, yes you do.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
I used to, when I was young, I lived in a coal-burning house. That was how it was, and much warmer. Much warmer. I didn't get headaches.
Yeah. Was there a smell in the house from the burning coal?
You didn't notice it when you know, because that was it. But of course we did get the London fogs.
Yeah.
Het is zondag en zelfs vandaag draagt stationchef Peter zijn uniform. En dat op zijn leeftijd. En dan nog als vrijwilliger, want dit is een museumlijntje. Ze zijn trots, de Britten, op al die wetenschap en technologie die ze hebben bedacht, hoe pragmatisch ook, en die overal hun sporen hebben nagelaten. Ook in John zie ik vooral een pragmaticus. We schijnen het al maar beter met elkaar te kunnen vinden. Ja, ik heb het wel gezien, hoor. Sterker nog, zijn kinderlijke imitatie van de stoomtrein ontroert mij wel. John kan het zelfs doen regenen. Dit is neerslag zoals het hoort. De stoomtrein en al die andere Britse uitvindingen, het zal John worst wezen. Maar toch mag hij best trots zijn op dat treintje, want het maakte de bloei van Engeland als industriële grootmacht compleet. Ook dat behoort tot de greatness of Britain. Maar er is nog zoveel meer wat we daarvan moeten bekijken. Dus gaan we door. Desnoods tot we zo zwart zien als de kolen.